Good morning, traders, and welcome to Trading Waves, a short video where we'll be looking at the dollar index. But before you can go through, please do make sure that you pause and read the disclaimer. Right, guys, so before you can even go through the video, so if you like our content, please do give us a thumbs up and you can comment on our section, and please do make sure that you subscribe as well into the channel. Do make sure as well that you press that bell notification, which is going to notify you every time that we are releasing these videos. So on today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the DXY. Now, the reason behind us having a look at the DXY, I'll tell you this before I can open the chart. I believe that if you know what is expected on the DXY, you are very likely you know that what is expected in the market as a whole. Okay. Now, if you don't understand that one, obviously, you can just stay tuned and you'll see what do I say this year, or you can even also refer to our previous videos that we post over the weekends. Right, so now let's get started here, guys. Let's have a look at the DXY. So I've been coming in, week out, and I have been saying to you guys, we are looking to sell the DXY, okay? I'm not just talking about this while it has already made a move here. If you remember from the previous year, we have been saying that the DXY is going to trade to the down side. Now, I will show you this when we go to the live chart. So if you look at the date, this was posted on the November 1st, the previous year. Now we are already in March. So we're talking about like 4 months. We have been entertaining that the DXY needs to give us a drop to the downside. So obviously, like I've said it, I will show you. If you take note of this labeling here, I will show you when we get to the live chart. So we were looking at this here that it should give us a big drop to the downside. Now, obviously, we've saw the move to the downside. So even recently, that was January this year, we said that DXY should still make a drop to the downside. But before I can move forward, if you look at this previous slide here or this chart here, we were just starting a move. And then we said we are going to be expecting this drop to the downside on the DXY. Now, if you look at this slide here, you would see that the DXY, we were here. So we were somewhere around this, and we said that DXY against this invalidation level here, this should drop. And eventually it dropped all the way to the downside, and it gave us this 5-wave move to the downside again. Obviously, we would change the labeling now and then and the degrees, but other than that, it's still the 1 and the 2 that we have on our first slide. Yeah. So now we've got the 5-wave move to the downside, and I remember very well when I did my last webinar last year, the weekly outlook, I said we gotta be mindful. This was happening across the board on the major pairs. Like I was saying that these US dollar pairs, they've made the 5-wave moves. We gotta be careful. It might be time for a pullback. I was trying to look at the chart when we were here, that I was showing you that this was gonna be expected to make this 3-wave move structure and come around this era of a blue box again. And from here, we expected that this was going to drop to the down side. Obviously, if you are keeping a track of the DXY, you will see that this has already started to drop. We've went as far as somewhere around the 102. We are somewhere around this area here on the DXY. Obviously, we went as far as the 102 area here, and we get a bit of a pullback. But before I can go to the live chart, I want us to have a look at this. Before I can go to this lower time frame, I want us to have a look, not too far, but just have a look at this here on the daily time frame. Why have we been saying that the DXY should eventually trade lower? Obviously, we are bullish, but somebody will come and say the DXY is bullish. Somebody is going to come and say that DXY is bearish. So that statement is never complete. That's what I always say. We are bearish. Is it in a long term, in a short term, or in a medium term? Right. So now, right now, I'm looking at the DXY that it should drop lower, but in a long term, we are expecting that DXY is going to make a big move to the up side. Now, let's take it from this low here. How we have been looking at this. Why are we saying it must drop first before we can look for a big move? Now, we've got this move here. Remember what I always say: the market always move in a three-wave moves. I've asked you before that you can go through the channel on our YouTube page, which is Trading Waves. Go and search for a video just on your tap on YouTube, trading the WXY like a pro. That's where my colleague is detailing my statement that I said that the market moves into three. So that's where you're gonna understand that statement. That if you don't understand it right now. Now I've spoken about this several times that the market will move in this three-wave move, but there is a lot that take place here around this area here. So you can have like your WXY, your zigzag here, your triangle, your double correction, your complex correction here around this wave here. If you're not sure about that, all these that I'm mentioning here, you can hop into our website. We have made a course that is called Mastering the Corrective Structures. Some people, they don't care about the ELLIOTT wave. However, they want to know when we are here, what corrective structure is going to take place a year. Why do we focus this year that it's going to be the case? How do I see that we are not done from here? We're not going to make a move, but we're still here to drop. If you have got that challenge, you can always just inquire about that course, Mastering the Corrective Structures. That will give you an idea, or I can assure you it will be very beneficial, because this is so simple. Impulse correction. When you're seeing an impulse, obviously it's easier. Everyone's just looking for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the problem starts here. That what are you going to be expecting a year? How do you know when this is already done? So if you are having that challenge, that's the very same thing that I encountered before I could learn the ELLIOTT wave. I was having the challenges when the market was giving us pullbacks. I will only know that it's a pullback through wave moves. Yeah, but once it started to give me the complex corrections here, I was getting confused. What is happening here? Why is this happening? So when we've simplified it for you, just jump in and inquire about mastering the corrective structure course that we have there. Right, so we've been looking at this here that it has made this move to the upside. No doubt, this is an impulsively move. Yeah. Now, an impulsively move needs to be retraced by a three-wave move structure. Now, based on the Fibonacci guidelines, you would expect that be a wave 2 or be a wave B or a wave 4, that there must be certain Fibonacci level that need to be taken before we can conclude that the corrective structure might be done, or have that probability that this corrective structure might be done. Now, we've had this impulsively move to the upside. Let me move this chart on my right here so that you guys can understand this. I want us to make sure that we understand this here, and why are we looking for more bearish before a big move to the up side. Now we have this move to the upside. So far what we've had here is that this has traded down impulsively here. Remember, I'm looking for the three-wave move because I believe that this is correcting. Let's say, for example, this is our wave A here. I'm just roughly giving it a correction here. Just let me just screens here, right? So let's just say here this is our wave A. We're just making an example here because obviously it needs to be related with the left hand side of the chart, but I'm just showing you that if you say I'm not worried about all what is happening on the left side of the chart, I want to see what is going to be expected going forward here. Now we've got this one to have dropped lower here. No doubt, this for me, it has dropped down impulsively in a five-wave move. Now, the corrective structure, it is never just an impulsively move and then it just make a move to the other way around. No, it needs to complete the three-wave move. So what we've seen here in the middle here, hence I've said that there's a lot that happens here. We've had this one, made a move to the upside in a three-wave move, drop lower in a three-wave move here, and it made this impulsively move here. Now, if you look at my chart, like I always say, that the move needs to be in threes a year. There's something that is missing here, which is related to this move a year. Now, we believe that this is a start of a move. Obviously, I could just draw it this way here, but I want you to understand this a year, that we are looking at this year to have been our wave a year. I'm going to label this year, and with this three-wave move structure here, which is an expanding flat, we are looking at it to be our wave B. Now, we know now that if you are having an A and a B, at some point you need to have a wave C. And how many waves that a wave C have? It has a five-wave move. Now, what we have been looking for is that this is our wave 1. Now, this correction that we've seen here, which I showed you how we forecasted this year, you will see that we are looking at this to have been our wave to a year. We are looking at this, that it is done, especially against this swing high. Now, we are expecting that we should see a wave 3 at some point, we should see a wave 4, and we should see a wave 5. Then once we see this 5-wave move here, then that's when we can say this is complete. We've seen a move that is related to this one here. Then what do we expect going forward? That we are going to see a move that is related to this one here. That's when we can say that DXY is ready for a big move to the upside. That is going to be obviously this ABC that we are seeing in blue here. That will be completing our wave B, and we can expect that at some point we are going to have a wave C. But as far as it is, this now, it is not a complete year. Okay, it is not complete. There's still something that needs to take place a year. Like I've said it, there is a lot that can take place a year. You can even find out. Now, I'm not trying to complex this here, but this could still be a strata year. This can still drop in a 3-wave move lower here and just do something like this here, 3-wave move lower here, and then we still see a move to the upside here. It doesn't have to be like this flat, but it can still even be a flat corrective structure, something like this here. Still come back lower here, and then this move here, something like this. Then that's when we get this one to make the initial drop to the downside here. So this being a drop here, then that's when we get the initial drop to the downside. That is still very possible structurally, but obviously we're taking it one wave at a time. I don't have to focus this complex correction here, because this is better that it might just drop from here and then complete the correction strategy that we're looking for, and then we get this move. But like I've said it, there's a very subjective concept of the Elliott wave around these corrective structures. Hence, we've introduced that mastering corrective structures course. Right, so now with that being said, let's get down into the lower time frames, 1 hour now, and our preferred view so far. So I'm gonna bring back the labeling here so that you can see. Obviously, you've seen what we are forecasting here, so I'm gonna bring those back. If not, you can also refer to our before and after chart that we had over the weekend. Yeah. Now, like I've said it, this is where we were on the DXY. We were looking at this to it should drop here, made a drop here, and it made this 3-wave structure into this era of a blue box. If you are not sure what I'm referring to, a blue box, that is one of our very good strategy to trade the market. Yeah, it's easy. We just identify the trend, then from there we wait for those pullbacks into the blue box, then that's when we execute our trades. Obviously, we do this with the help of our special indicator that we use here, but I'm not all about that here. We just want to see what is expected going forward on a DXY. Now that we have completed this correction here, we believe that the market should not go beyond this point, because we believe that we are starting the wave 3 now. If you've got this as our wave 1 in this yellow intermediate degree, and this should be our wave 2, it means at some point we are expecting that this should drop for a wave 3 and a 4 and a wave 5. So that's where we are now with the DXY. I do believe that anything below this 104 area here, we are going to be expecting that the DXY should continue with a move to the downside again. So this could just be even be at a lower degree, wave 1 here, wave 2. This can still even extend more lower here for a wave 3 here, or maybe let's say, for example, this does this yeah, wave 4, but never getting into this territory here, and then still drop like this. Then we can have this here to be our wave 5. Maybe that's when we can expect a bigger correction for a wave 2 yeah, wave 2 of the wave 3 in this degree. But what I always like is that your wave 1 of the following degree to this one here must always go as far as taking this swing low. So this is my first target, that this should drop, continue more lower here, maybe do something like this, have a 3 here, maybe being your wave 4 here. It can even be a very sideways market here, something like this, and then drop here for a wave 5. Maybe this is when I'm going to be expecting a bigger pullback. Now guess what? Once this gets a here around this year, take this swing low here, this would be confirming this bearish sequence here. For now, we've traded this here because of our trading strategy that we must short this in the blue box here. Now we're dropping this lower here. If it comes here, it's even more a confirmation that indeed this is in play here on a DXY. So if you've been able to follow what we have been preaching over the weekly here, so you will understand that why are we targeting this area here. So our first target on a DXY will be somewhere around this swing low here. Once we take that, a pullback might be seen here. You get a pullback now against this swing high here, then you still look for more bearish move to the downside. Like I've showed you that, like I've been saying here, if you've seen our weekly outlook, that I'm expecting that the DXY can drop as far as somewhere or below 100 and goes as far as around the 94 area. Once it can reach the 94 area here, this is when we are going to be expecting that big move that I showed you on that daily time frame. But as far as it is again on a DXY, we are looking at this here. Made a very nice three-wave move here. Even it does this here, then we are going to be looking for a continuation move to the down side. So that will also give you an idea what is expected on the US dollar pairs. Because remember here, if the DXY drop to the downside here, all these major pairs that are US dollar quote pairs, they will be expected to make a move to the upside. Like I'm talking about your Auto US dollar, your New Zealand US dollar, your Pound US dollar, they will be expected to make a move to the upside, and your Euro US dollar as well. So that's why I say that if you know what is expected on the DXY, you are very likely that you will know what is expected on the market as a whole. Now remember that those major pairs, they're going to have an impact on the cross pairs. So those cross pairs, meaning that they are positively correlated to the DXY or yes, they are positively correlated to the major pairs rather than the DXY. Some of them would be positively correlated to a DXY. For example, if I were to make an example here, let's say you are seeing your DXY dropping to the downside, you're gonna be expecting your Audi US dollar make a move to the upside, and your instrument like your Euro Audi, because they are Audi quote pairs, they will be expected to drop, which make them to be positively correlated to the DXY. Right, so guys, that's all that I wanted to share with you guys today. Please do make sure that you give us that thumbs up there, and also do make sure that you share our videos so that everybody can have this insight for free, and hopefully you are able to make something out of these charts. Don't forget again, you can also pay visit to our to our website there, which is trading-waves.com. So this is our welcome page that you will learn to showing our web site. All right, everybody, please thanks for taking your time and tuning in here. We will see you guys on the next one. Trade safe and responsible, and I'm gonna see you guys. Cheers and have a good one. Bye bye.